since I was a little girl, I have always loved journaling. I was an only child growing up, and it really helped me gather my thoughts. It was almost like my friend in a way, which sounds kind of lame, but I used to have this big vision board in my room, and I would always clip out pictures from magazines and put it up about what I would want to accomplish in life. Whenever I travel, bring my journal with me, and if ever I have a moment when it's like quiet, I will go to my journal and I will just write down my thoughts without judgment. That is the key. What I really want to do is actually leave that for my daughter one day to learn things from my experiences, but for the most part, I do it to get out my feelings and to get out like my anxiety about whatever I have anxiety about. Ever since I was 3 years old, I went into dance, became like a teacher of dance. My first job was actually the movie Chicago with Catherine Zeta-Jones, and then I went on this path of dancing professionally. However, since I stopped dancing and I was about 26, I have struggled with ways to stay in shape and stay active and actually enjoy it. I've had 2 babies. When you basically go from being a teenager to in your young 20s to then being a mother and sort of figuring out like your new body, I think that can be really challenging and kind of depressing to a lot of women. Some things that I love to do is I love to walk, which is not as active as dancing is obviously, but I love to walk in nature, be present in nature, get grounded that way. I also love to do Pilates. I have a great coach, and I find that that's great for dancers to keep that more leaner shape. I actually do a moksha yoga style now, and I love it because it's all at your own pace. If you need to take a second and lie down or meditate or go into child's pose, you can really do whatever you need, but I found that that was also really enjoyable, and my husband and I love doing it together. So in the mornings, I always put on music that is upbeat, that my kids love, like Justin Timberlake, and we always dance in the kitchen. That's just one thing that we do that gets our bodies moving, and it's a really fun thing to just lift your spirits, even though it's not tons of exercise. I think if you're in a state where you feel good about yourself as a person, who you are, how you act, how you treat people, how you treat your body internally, and yes, I would love to be in maybe a smaller size pair of jeans, but that's not where I am right now, and it doesn't really matter. I know that I fill other areas really well. My point of all of this is don't stress with where you are right now. It's all a journey. You can always strive for better health, but don't strive to be a certain size per se. If I were to talk to my younger self, I would tell her to just breathe and that none of this really matters in the whole scheme of it. I would tell her to focus on her brain more than her body. I think the main thing that matters is that you educate yourself to be an empowered, strong woman who can stand on her own 2 feet and not answer to anyone. The other thing that I really like to do, and I do this with my daughter, is she just brings her little chair over to the counter, is we cut up fruits and we put it into our water. The other thing that I love to do is I love to take vitamins. Right now I'm using ones by Activ-X. I also love taking vitamin D, vitamin C, vitamin B12, my omegas as well. Another thing that I really enjoy doing before I shower is I will skin brush. You want to brush towards your heart, brush up my legs, I'll brush up my arm, down my chest, up my tummy. It drains the lymphatic system. It also helps reduce the look of cellulite. It obviously sloughs off dead skin. When I travel, one thing that I love to do is collect crystals. I'm a huge major crystal fan. Almost like that crazy cat lady that has like way too many cats. I have way too many crystals. I have a quartz in the front of my house, so the second that you walk in, it's like a good energy. So this one is quartz, and then this one is apophyllite, and this one is really great for people that give a lot in their job. It retains your energy and doesn't suck you dry of all your good energy. My husband thinks that this stuff is all up in the clouds, but if this makes you feel good, you should do it. Meditating is one thing that I have to say I'm not really that great at. I find the best meditation for me is walking in nature. The other way that I do it is I will take little breaks from my work life and my phone. And I love spending time with my children and just remembering how present they are in the moment. It reminds me to be that way as well. That always feels so good for my heart. My dad is an entrepreneur as well, and he had this massive library of business books, and also he had a lot of motivational self-help books. I would find myself in his library reading all of his books. Reading is a huge part for keeping me grounded. I do love Rachel Hollis right now. She has one called Girl Stop Apologizing. She is definitely someone who's a young, kick-ass entrepreneur that has some really great things to say about owning who you are and not apologizing anymore about feeling guilty as a mom or feeling guilty as a wife or a business person. And I just feel like she really empowers women to just be their best self. thank you so much for listening to what I do to feel good and to stay on track. It is like an ebb and flow. You're never gonna have everything perfectly juggled in the air. Sometimes different areas of life will fall and you'll have to pick them back up again. So thanks for listening, guys. Bye.